Hello viewers, this is Cynthia Michael from Screen Views, bring you a new podcast on my channel called The Super Sentai Review. And like always, I'm gonna speak very loudly, very clearly, and very slowly in case you don't understand me. Also, I try to do my best not to breach your heart during this audio podcast recording as well, not to cause any audio feedback as well. And finally, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain show adult language. Once again, if you're under 18, this audio podcast recording will contain your adult language if you're under 18. Now, if you're over 18, that means you get to watch this audio podcast recording. So with this and everything else of the way, I'm starting to cry right now. Let's get into the last. Let's get into the review on the last episode of King-Ohger. So basically, the episode starts off like this. After seeing his forces getting beaten by the people of Shibuya, including after seeing his forces getting defeated by the people and the undead people of Terran, Terran, Douglas is pissed off. Pissed off after all the people on Terran united to help the Rangers together. So basically, the Rangers, who the Rangers finally got up, from taking the rest from the battle, and finally took the gave their own speeches, to what too, about why Douglas is losing right now. So basically, blah blah blah. Rakdos was already in his ranger form, and basically, so the other rangers got their morphers, and basically told them why they're fighting for, and we hear the catchphrases and whatnot, and basically they morphed up, and basically basically all seven rangers took the fight to Douglas and whatnot. Seems like they figure how to transfer the power to kill Douglas from was able to seem like they was able to copy the power of that the power of the power to kill immortals from Rakuta's zero character into their own sword. So basically, the six rangers were fighting against Dogwa. Wow. So basically, we're fighting against Dogwa and whatnot. So basically, this fight was just glorious, and basically, seems like seems like things started to go, and seems like things were to make things even crazier. We know Commodore was still fighting against the Rangers, and basically, fighting against Jeremy, and basically, Rackless showed up, and they worked together as a team along with Deathwa. So basically, Rackless and Jeremy was able to take, well, basically, beat up Commodore real quick, and Deathwa, he said, and Deathwa, got his licks in too, and dragged Commodore, dragged Commodore to the afterlife with him. So basically, the doors of the underworld, being, the afterlife, were closing. So basically, Deathwa said, like, "Oh, for your betrayal, you're coming with me to the afterlife." So basically, we hear Commodore, screaming whatnot, and we see Deathwa dragging Commodore through the gates to the afterlife that was closing behind him, and we see that little spider, that little black tarantula that considered his friend. He was like, he wanted to go follow Deathwa, but Deathwa said, "No, it's not your time yet. It's not your time yet, little one. And if you once your time comes, I'll see you soon." So basically, once the gates of the once the gates of the to the afterlife close, we see Common, being haunted by spirits just like right next to Grody. So basically, Common is being tormented by spirits in the afterlife right next to Grody. So anyway, the Rangers were still battling against Douglas and the tech experts, and the tech experts from Neo Sofa, along with the castle expert from along with the castle expert from Sugarland, were trying to figure out how can they stable, because they remember they managed to copy the powers of the king items and basically into the Megazord, but they don't know how to stable that power and doesn't know how to stable that power yet. And that's when the expert for Sugar realized that we need to make a soul to store that power at, to make a giant stone like the sugar gods have, and basically that will act like a breaker, like a breaker power source to the extra powers that they copy the King item powers that they copy into Zord, who would be better to handle it. But they still think that the power will still in a backfire, but it will give them a chance to take down Douglas. So basically, Douglas is not doing very well against the Rangers. So basically, Douglas was pissed off, like, how can I lose? What's going on here? What's this losing it? And that's when Douglas decided to make himself grow, and that's when the extra told them that we need all the people help to make a giant sugar stone to help better help the Nicotone to contain the power that we gave them to put the power that we gave the Zords, from the king items and whatnot. So basically all the everybody gathered, or get everybody in the crowd, everybody and every bugler, I mean, co- combine their energy together and form a big stone and that was used to help control the power that the copy powers of the king proof items in the Zord, and the stone became part of the Megazord, and they formed the god key of the Megazord, and basically follow Dunbar to his space room, where he and basically and have a crazy fight. So basically, we see a giant Dunbar versus the King of the Megazord with the six main rangers. So basically, Douglas said that once I'm done with you guys, once and for all, I will purge the universe. And basically, and the fight started. And basically, everything was just good, was going off. It seems like the Megazord and Dugbo were even matched, but Dugbo had got the upper hand, and seems like the Megazord had reached his limits, and basically the Ranger. So basically, Garen was talking to the Beetlezoid. He's like, and the other Rangers, like, I believe that, I believe we will defeat you. So as long as we keep fighting, we will defeat you. And basically, that's when the Beetlezoid and the rest of the Zords, gave a full burst of energy, and basically a full burst of energy that gave them the opportunity to take down Douglas, and basically shrink him back to his full size, and destroy his universal headquarters at the same time. But doing so, this burst of energy started to destroy the Megazord and the Zords as well. So basically, they was able to destroy Douglas' Universal Spatial headquarters and knock Douglas back to normal size, back on their planet. But the Zords were basically started to melt and started to catch on fire and started to disintegrate from the burst of energy and the power sources that they copied from the King Proof items and whatnot. So basically, Gavin was, even though Gavin was in Ranger form, he was kind of sad that the Zords would have to be sacrifice themselves to help them take down Douglas. So basically, Douglas was back on the planet, in Sugar, in the ruins of Sugar, and basically, the Rangers just rolled up on him, and basically, and Douglas was still saying, "I'm gonna make you scream," and basically, the Rangers strike him down and crack open his head, his gemstone head, and basically his head was like a giant sugar soul gem, and basically once they cracked it, they destroyed his soul, and basically Douglas was no more, and that's when they all demorphed and gave a fist bump and joined the others, and the others celebrated their victory, and basically everybody was happy, everybody cheering the Rangers on and whatnot, and everything was over. So basically, the Rangers had saved the universe. They took down Douglas once and for all, and everybody, all the people that helped, celebrated with the Rangers and whatnot. Then we cut to the castle. We cut to the Sugar Castle, and basically the Rangers, all six Rangers agreed to unite all the nations into one. So basically, Rita came up with a name for each, for this new. So basically, all the way, so basically, all the leaders, being the Rangers, all six Rangers, decided to unite their nations into one nation, and they'd be like sort of like a council. So basically, they started to fighting over the names and whatnot. So basically, by uniting all six nations together, there will be no more borders between nations. People can go to whatever nation they want to now under this new United Nation and whatnot. So anyway, so basically, Garen was Garen was watching the others fight over the name of their new nation that they are forming and whatnot. And basically, Garen's like, it's good to see the others get along like this. And basically, Garen get his 2 cents about what the name should be and whatnot. So basically, after seems like a few days later, we see that all the nations, all six nations, were getting together. We see Bugwell and people are living in harmony and whatnot. So basically, everybody was all the cultures for all six nations were being absorbed into this one nation. So basically, we see people being, getting tutored in technology, medicine, all that and whatnot. So basically, it gave more time for Yama to do more computer research. We see Colorado spending more time, looking at the field, looking at the field, looking at the field of crops and whatnot. We see we see Hemo, having ourselves a tea party, and whatnot. We see Rita in her Martha room, spending more time in her Martha room. As for Jeremy, well, he's writing down the events that went down and how they defeated Dogma and whatnot. Basically, he's spending his time, writing down the events. As for Garen, Garen was just happy to see that, everybody, making sure that everybody's okay, making sure everybody's okay. Then we see all as for Rackless, Rackless is doing time, so basically he's in jail. He's in jail at Goki, doing his time, but him and Suzuma are still together. So basically, like Suzuma, Suzuma is in Goki, they still together as a couple. Rackless is doing his time for what he did, for the crimes he did, trying to get revenge on Duckwa for killing his father and whatnot. So basically, like, he's happily doing his time and whatnot. And basically, we see all six rangers gathered together to one last time to morph up and basically like and they stole Garen's Tyrant King catchphrase, his Tyrant King catchphrase that I'm gonna rule the world, and basically and took Garen up, and basically and the episode ended with Garen and the other Rangers activating their morphers and morphing up one last time, and the episode ended on that note. Then we had the additional. Then we had the Red Ranger handoff. So basically, we see Garrett in his Ranger form along with Boom Red, doing a handoff, and Garrett is inside Boom Red's car driving to each of the nations, and basically this is how the episode ended on this note. So basically, oh God, man, this was a good. This was a good final episode. So anyway, the episode ended off on a good note. So anyway, that's all I got to say. What you guys got to say about the final episode of King-Ohger? Good, bad, or just now, or just whatever. Anyway, signing off. For the review one.